The theorist that my group and I selected is British psychiatrist John Bowlby. John was born in 1907 in London, England, and died in 1990 at the age of 83 from a stroke. One interesting tidbit about John Bowlby is that he came from a wealthy family and was mostly raised by nannies. His parents believed that too much parental attention and affection was not good for children because that would end up spoiling them. John Bowlby only saw his mother for 1 hour each day, and he shared that hour with 5 of his siblings. John was very attached to his nanny named Minnie, and at the age of 4 years old, Minnie left her job as a nanny, and John was sent to boarding school at the age of 7 years old. John Bowlby's traumatic personal experiences with separation was the driving force to pursuing a career in psychiatry with a focus on how separation from caregivers impacts children.
Edward John Monston Bowlby was born February 26, 1907 in London, England. John Bowlby was a 20th century psychologist and psychiatrist best known for his research into attachment formation and his development of attachment theory. The attachment theory in developmental psychology is the theory that humans are born with a need to form a close emotional bond with a caregiver and that such a bond will develop during the first 6 months of a child's life if the caregiver is appropriately responsive. John Bowlby focused on the experience, expression, and regulation of emotions at both species and individual levels of analysis. Bowlby believed that the attachment system, as he and others called it, served 2 primary functions: to protect vulnerable individuals from potential threats or harm and to regulate negative emotions following threatening or harmful events. Bowlby's fascination with the emotional ties that bind humans to each other began with an astute observation. In all human cultures, and indeed in primate species, young and vulnerable infants display a specific sequence of reactions following separation from their stronger, older, and wiser caregivers. If loud and persistent protests fail to get the caregiver's attention, infants enter a second stage known as despair, during which they usually stop moving and become silent. After a period of despair, infants who are not reunited with their caregivers enter a third and final stage called detachment.
John Bowlby. What was John Bowlby most noted for? John Bowlby is known for his attachment theory. Bowlby believed that children are born ready to form attachments. Bowlby believed that a child forms a strong bond typically with one caregiver or parent that spends the most time with them. The main attachment figure is known as metropy, suggesting that this one attachment is more important than any other attachment. Bowlby believed that the crucial time to develop an attachment is by 2.5 years. This attachment to the caregiver will predict future relationships and how the child views oneself, the world, and others. How did John Bowlby impact early childhood? Attachment theory affects children's views on self, self-awareness, others, and worldviews. When an attachment is done so in a positive way, it can encourage less acting out, self-confidence in schoolwork and outside of school, and fostering good relationships with others. When an attachment is not positive, the child will be more aggressive, have behavioral problems, academic problems, and social problems. These are my references.